Chào con, everyone. Huang Ang.
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Huang Ang?
Yeah, I've been having a great week.
Good. And Ding Lam, Xin Chao.
Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. And who else can I see? Him.
Yes,
Ha-
hello, teacher.
How are you, Him?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good, good. Haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, it's good to see you again. I
Okay.
was on a 1 week vacation.
Oh, where did you go?
Uh, I went to Hue, Da Nang, and Hoi An. It was pretty nice there.
Oh, great. That's good. Sounds like a great vacation to me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And Jafet, Xin Chao.
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Jafet?
I'm okay.
That's great. And Fu Quang, Chao Gon. Fu Quang, oi.
Hello,
I
teacher.
can't
How
hear.
are you?
Oh, I'm good, Fu Quang. I can hardly hear you. You're very quiet. Can you turn your microphone up, please? Okay, so sorry to be a little bit late, everyone. I've been a bit under the weather this week, so I've had the flu for the last few days. So I am 75% better now. But if I sound a little bit hoarse or I cough a little bit sometimes, please excuse me. But like I say, I'm 75% better now. But yes, very annoying to come to Thailand. I'm in Thailand, by the way, for those of you who don't know. I didn't see last week. I'm in Thailand at the moment, and annoying to come to a tropical country and get the flu, which in New Zealand, of course, is more associated with cold weather, with winter weather, not with hot weather. So, like I say, a little bit annoying for me, but never mind. Before we start, does anyone have any questions for me? Okay, so we're going to start with some more idioms today. We will continue with the table for writing task one, and we'll also look at part three, speaking. Ledok Ang, Xin Chao.
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Ledok Ang?
I'm good. Thank you.
That's good. Welcome to class. Okay, let me see here. Just share this document with you. All right, so very quickly, we will just review the idioms we've done so far, and also because some of you have missed these, I know. So, first one is Huang Ang.
Yes.
Okay, can you please again just read number one for me?
Oh, okay. All right. Not my cup of tea. Something that you don't like, don't enjoy, or are interested in.
Good. Okay, and can you give me an example, Huang Ang?
Um, I I obviously think that learning online isn't my cup of tea.
Perfect. Okay, so everyone, I want you to give me an example. Okay, so here is my example. Horror movies aren't my cup of tea. Okay, Huang Ang says, learning online is not my cup of tea. Okay, Fu Kuang.
Reading book is not my cup of tea.
Reading books is not my cup of tea. Ladok Ang.
Um, going outside is not my cup of tea. Isn't that?
Going outside is not my cup of tea. Not such a good example, Ladok Ang. I think going outside has to be something more specific than that. You know, like some sort of, you usually use it when you are
Gardening is in my cup of tea.
correct. Okay, you're usually using it when you're referring to some activity. Okay. And yeah, gardening, not my cup of tea. Reading books, not my cup of tea. Video games, not my cup of tea. So usually some activity. Ding Lam.
Cooking is not my cup.
Sorry, Ding Lam, I can't hear you. I come back to you. Shafat.
Basketball isn't my cup of tea.
Perfect. Kim.
Uh, Playing tennis isn't my cup of tea.
Perfect. Ding Lam. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you better now. Ding Lam, can you give me an example, please?
cooking is not my cup of tea.
Perfect. Okay. All doing well. And again, just in case you've forgotten, the reason why we are learning these is because number one, helps you sound more like a native speaker. Native speakers, not just in English, but I think in every language in the world, use idioms. Okay, to make them sound more natural. It's just another way of expressing your feeling about something. And to use idioms, okay, makes you sound much more like a native speaker in any language, not just English. And number two, can help you get a better score in the exam. If you can use one or two idioms, you don't have to. You don't have to use idioms to get a good score, but it can help. As I say, because it makes you sound more like a native speaker. All right, number two, Fu Kwang. Fu Kwang.
It's
This
too
one here.
long.
Yeah, this one here, Fu Kwang.
Oh, let's call it a day. Stop working on a task or job for the day to finish doing something.
Okay, can you give me an example now, please, Fu Kwang?
It's too long to done this project. Let's call it a day.
Perfect. Ladok Ang.
Hello, yeah,
Let's
we
call it a
have been
day,
working
Ladok
for
Ang.
the past 8 hours. Let's call it a day.
Perfect. We've been working for the past 8 hours. Let's call it a day. That's excellent, Ladok Ang. Exactly how you can use it. Ding Lam.
I'm so tired, so let's call it a day.
Jafet.
Our online class is long enough. Let's call it a day.
Kim.
We have finished the format. Let's call it a day.
Great. And Pam. Can you hear me? Pam Nguyen.
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, Pam. Welcome to class.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you turn your camera on, please, Pam?
My camera not working yet.
Okay. So be good if you can get it working sometime, please, Pam, because it's good for me to be able to see you as well as hear you. Can you give me an example, please? Let's call it a day, Pam.
He's running to play basketball, so let's call it a day.
Okay, that's fine. Huang Ang.
I've been reading too many books in a day. Today. Let's go it a day.
Perfect. All right, next one. Piece of cake, number 3. Le Duc Ang. Can you just read number 3 for me, please, Le Duc Ang?
A piece of cake. Something that's very easy. The
Okay. Yeah, keep going. Sorry, Le Duc Ang. Sorry.
Yeah?
Yeah, keep going. Example.
Yeah, I said other thing. Example. The
Yeah.
exam was a piece of cake for me.
Perfect. Okay, so remember, I will ask you a question now for this, and you reply using the idiom a piece of cake. Okay, Ledok Ang, how was your chemistry exam?
It wasn't a piece of cake for me.
Perfect. Ding Lam, how was your math exam?
Exam was a better thing from you.
Jafet,
Yes.
how was your English test?
A piece of cake.
Perfect. That's exactly right, Javed. That is exactly what a native speaker would say. Just like that. Don't even need to say for me, everyone. You can just say piece of cake. Piece of cake. Just means really easy. Okay. Pam. Pam oi.
Yes.
Yeah. How was your physics test?
Uh, it was a big cake.
Perfect. Perfect. There was a piece of cake. Kim,
Yes, teacher.
how was your Vietnamese literature test?
But it was a piece of cake for me.
Remember, you can say the opposite. Okay,
Oh,
like Le Duc Ang said, if it wasn't easy, you can say it wasn't a piece of cake. Okay, all right. So remember, you can use piece of cake to say the opposite. Wang Ang,
Yes,
okay. How was your physics test?
it was a piece of cake, obviously.
Great, you are good at physics. And Fu Quang,
Yes,
how was your English test?
a piece of cake.
Good. Okay, next one is what I have been feeling this week. I have been under the weather because I have had the flu. Okay. All right. Ding Lam, can you just read number 4, please? Ding Lam.
Yes, under the weather, feeling a little sick or unwell.
Good. So my example is I've had the flu this week. I've been feeling under the weather. Okay. Ding Lam, can you give me an example, please?
Mm, in the morning, I go into the gym, but I feel under the weather.
Okay. In the morning, I am going to the gym, but I feel under the weather. Yeah, you can say that. That's fine. Ding Lam. Jafet, under the weather.
Um, I went to sleep late yesterday, so I feel under weather.
That doesn't quite make sense. I went to sleep late yesterday, so I feel under the weather.
Like late. I went to
Late.
sleep late.
I went to sleep late. Remember, it's more to do with being sick. Okay, not just being tired.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
all right. Can you try again, please, Jafet?
6.
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't go to school today because I feel
oh
under
yeah,
the weather. That kind of thing.
yeah. I didn't go to my PE class today because I was under the weather.
Perfect. That's how you use it. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. Bum. Bum oi.
Yeah, teacher.
Under the weather, please.
I'll skip extra class today. Feel under the weather.
Okay. Kim.
yes, teacher.
Under the weather.
Um, I feel under the weather today because I dropped my ice cream.
No.
Oh,
I feel under the weather
oh,
today
I've
because I dropped my eye. No, that doesn't make sense. That you are what you are saying is I feel unwell today because I dropped my ice cream. Doesn't make sense. Remember, under the weather just means to feel sick. Okay,
oh,
so you
oh,
might say something like, I skipped going to school today because I feel under the weather. I didn't
mm,
play football today because I feel under the weather. All right.
right.
I will stay in bed today because I feel under the weather. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes a lot of
Okay.
sense.
Okay. Can you give me another sentence then, please, Kim?
Uh, I'm not going outside today because I feel under the weather.
Perfect. That is better. Huang Ang.
I'm afraid I could go with my friends today because I feel under weather. Under the weather.
Excellent. Fu Quang.
I might have a rest today. I feel under the weather.
Ladok Ang.
Feeling under the weather today. My friend told me to go without him.
Wow, very good, Ladok Ang. Change the order of words in the sentence. That's very good. Excellent. Ding Lam. Oh, sorry, Ding Lam. I know I already asked you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, Ding Lam. Don't worry. Okay, Jafet. Number
Wo-
five. Number five, please, Jafet. Number five.
once in. Oh, so I should answer it or read it?
No, read it first, please.
Oh, yeah. Once in a blue moon, something that happens very rarely.
Good. So the example is we go out for dinner once in a blue moon. Can you give me an example, please? Pat.
Oh, I go to the cinema once in a blue moon.
Perfect. Thumb.
Yeah.
Once in a blue moon. Right? Everyone just please be ready with your sentence. You don't need to say yes, teacher, because you know what I want you to say. Okay, Thumb, your turn.
We are going to travel in a blue moon.
Sorry, I didn't hear the beginning of the sentence. Thumb, what was the beginning of the sentence?
I go to travel in the blue moon.
Aha.
I
I go traveling
travel.
is better. I go traveling once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Okay? Not I go to travel. That's not what a native speaker would say. I go traveling once in a blue moon. Kim.
Yes. I clean my house once in a blue moon.
Really? Is that true?
Well, I sometimes just clean it a bit, so
Right, okay. I'm sure your mum very unhappy to hear that. Right. Okay, Huang Ang.
Let's just say I actually try to study once in a blue moon.
Hu Kwang.
I hang out with my friend once in the blue moon.
Oh, that's very sad, Fu Kwang. Means you hardly ever see them. Okay, Ladok Ang.
I go traveling once in a blue moon.
Ding Lam.
I watch the videos now with my friend.
Okay, thank you, Ding Lam. All right, next, Bum. Bum Oi.
Mm,
Can you read number 6 for me, please?
yeah. My laptop
Just read. First of all, read what I have highlighted, please, Bum.
cost an arm and a leg is very expensive.
Good, and you can see the example. That phone cost an arm and a leg. Okay, that phone was very expensive. Can you give me an example, please, Bum?
Mm, my computer cost an arm and a leg.
Perfect. Kim.
um buying a what buying a place at the hotel costs an arm and a leg.
Okay. Buying a place at the hotel is not what you would normally say in English, Kim. You would normally say a room.
Oh,
A room,
a
not
room,
a
yeah.
place. You don't buy a place at a hotel, do you? You buy. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
You
I
buy a
forgot
room at a
that.
hotel, yeah. Or the hotel room cost an arm and a leg is what a native speaker would say. Does that make sense?
Yes, teacher.
The hotel room cost an arm and a leg. Okay, is how you say it. Just the same as you would say the laptop cost an arm and a leg. The iPhone cost an arm and a leg. The hotel room cost an arm and a leg. Not buying a place at the hotel cost an arm and a leg. Okay, Huang Ang,
Yes.
arm and a leg.
I'm a Nick. Okay. Just buying a graphics card for my computer cost me an arm and a leg.
Phu Quang,
Medical treatment costs an arm and a leg.
I think it does everywhere. Le Duc Ang,
That contract costs an arm and a leg for
Ding
its
Lam.
yeah.
Yep, Ding Lam.
The phones I bought 1 year ago cost on the
Good. And Jafet.
That cake costs an arm and a leg.
Sorry, did you say the cake?
Yes.
Wow, must have been a very delicious cake if it cost that much. I hope so. All right. Now I know for some of you these are very easy, but I just want you to get used to using them so you can start to use them without thinking, okay, as part of your conversation. Like I say, makes you sound more like a native speaker. Number 2 can help you get a better score in the Ielts test. Okay, we're on to number 7 now. New one. This one here. Okay. Who will I get to read this? Him.
Yes.
Can you read number 7 for me, please?
Bite the bullet to face something difficult or unpleasant.
Yeah, and the example is?
I decided to bite the bullet and take the IELTS test again.
Okay, so to bite the bullet, everyone, just means to do something that is hard or difficult or not easy or something you don't want to do. You know, I decided to bite the bullet and break up with my girlfriend. Okay, there's one example. Just means to do something difficult or not easy. Bite the bullet. This one, by the way, comes from in the old days, before they had anesthetic in hospitals, before they put you to sleep before an operation, okay? Sometimes they get you to just bite on something to stop you shouting in pain if they're going to do an operation on you without anesthetic, without putting you to sleep. So bite the bullet means to put up with some pain. Okay, Kim, can you give me a sentence, please? Bite the bullet.
I decided to bite the bullet and learn how to drive a car. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I
Could be
decided to,
hard.
yeah, could be hard. It's even though bite the bullet, learning to drive a car is hard, but bite the bullet is more something you don't want to do. Okay? All right. Like I say, the example there, I decided to bite the bullet and do the IELTS test again, even though I didn't want to do it. Okay. So bite the bullet is more to do with something you don't want to do. So you probably wouldn't use it with something like learning to drive a car, because normally that's something you do want to do. So it's something that is difficult and that you don't actually want to do. Okay. I decided to bite the bullet and take my nephew to see the boring movie. Okay. Does that make sense, Kiam?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Can you think of another example, Kiam? Then.
I think it will connect with the last one. I decided to clean the house. I decided to bite the bullet and clean the house.
Okay, much better, Kiam. That's good. That's good. That's fine. I decided to bite the bullet and clean my room. Okay. That's good. All right. Something you as difficult and you don't want to do. Good. Huang Ang.
I decided to bite the bullet and challenge one of the hardest games called Undertale.
Excellent. Phu Quang.
I decided to buy the bullet and see my literature teacher.
Right. Le Duc Ang.
I decided to bite the bullet and sign the contract.
Ding Lam.
I decide to buy bullets and handle the math problem.
Jafet.
I decided to bite the bullets and accept the challenge.
Pham.
I decide to buy a bullet and do my literature homework.
Excellent. Okay, good. You're all doing that really well. Excellent. All right. And one more of these for today. Huang Ang. Huang Ang.
Yes.
Can you please read number 8 for me, please?
Blessing in disguise means something that seems bad at first, but turns out to be a good thing. Example, I was too late to catch the bus, but that was a blessing in disguise because it crashed and many other passengers were hurt.
Great. Okay. Can you give me an example, Huang Ang? Blessing in disguise. This one a little bit harder to think of a sentence, I know.
I always regret that I take too many extra classes, but it turns out to be a blessing in disguise because I actually learned a lot of things when I actually try to learn.
Good. We have the right idea. That's good. Oh, by the way, where is Nok Ang this week? Do you know Huang Ang?
I don't know actually because I'm at Hanoi right now and I wasn't with her.
Right. Okay. I thought you might know because she is your cousin. That's all. Okay. Phu Quang. Blessing in disguise.
Blessing in disguise, something that seems bad at first, but turns out to be a good thing.
Good. Okay. Can you give me your example, please, Phu Quang?
Listening to parents was a blessing in disguise because it was too annoying.
Okay. Le Duc Ang.
So in my third grade, my grandpa used to give me a lot of homeworks so I can practice the math, like his math problems, and it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I seems to perform better than my peers in math.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good sentences. That's good. Ding Lam.
The cooking is very boring because I had to learn. So it was present in this use because it helped me cook food myself without my help of parents.
Little bit confused, Ding Lam. Little bit confused. Jafet.
I thought the cake was bad at first, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
It turned out to be a blessing in disguise because why, Jafet? Normally give a reason.
Because it was flavorful.
Okay. All right. Pham. Oi. Can't hear you, sorry, Pham. I'll come back to you. Kiam.
My mom signed me up for an extra class that I didn't like, but that was a best thing in disguise because I met my best friend there.
Wow, that's a great example, Kiam. Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good way to use it. Okay. So, we have 2 more of these to go. All right, and we will do them next week. All right. Are there any questions about any of those idioms before we finish? Again, they are all very common in English for native speakers. And like I say, I'm sure you have many in Vietnamese as well. Every language does. Okay. Nok Ang, there you are. Xin chào Nok Ang.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Good, good. Where have you been?
I just wake up.
What,
Yeah.
you just woke up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Can you turn your microphone up, please, Nok Ang? I can't hear you very well.
Can you hear me now?
Little bit better. Can you make it louder, Nok Ang?
Hello.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. All right. Blessing in disguise, please, Nok Ang.
Yeah.
Yeah, blessing in disguise. Can you give me an example?
Can you say it again?
Did you hear what we were talking about before, Nok Ang?
Yes. I just
Okay.
uploaded.
Okay, so can you give me an example, please, of blessing in disguise? Give me a sentence. For example, it rained all day, but that was a blessing in disguise because it meant I didn't have to do any gardening. Okay? Means something that looks bad at first but turns out to be good. Okay? Can you think of an example? So something that is maybe looks bad at first but then turns out to be a good thing.
Look bad at first.
Hmm. Or such as the example I gave earlier. I missed the bus to school, but that turned out to be a blessing in disguise because the bus crashed. Yeah.
I was missing the flight. And it's blessing in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Because
that flight was has a traffic jam. Like it has a
okay, little bit confused, Nok Ang. All right, we'll do more about this next week.
okay.
Okay, everyone. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to, just go into this. I just want to share this with you all now. Hang on. Okay, we're going to be looking at speaking part 3. Last few weeks we have been doing part 2. Time to do a little bit of practice at part 3. Now here, everyone, are the two main strategies. Strategies is just another word, means plan. Okay, strategy and plan are synonyms. Okay, these are two plans or strategies you can use to answer any part 3 question. Kim,
Yes, teacher.
can you please read the two main strategies for me?
The two main strategies is one, answer, explain, example.
Good. And number 2
Two,
is
some people think, other people think, and I think.
good. All right. So, part 3 questions. Excuse me, everyone. Sorry. Part 3 questions are always opinion questions. They will always ask you what you think about something. So you might remember part 1 speaking questions are all about you. Part 3 questions are about your opinions. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Now, part 3 questions, your answer has to be 5 or 6 sentences. Remember, part 1 questions, 2 or 3 sentences for your answer. But part 3 questions, you need to give longer answers. And to help you give longer answers, you can use these strategies. So, you answer the question, you explain your answer, and maybe give an example. A-E-E, A-E-E, answer, explain, example. Like I say, I teach this because it gives you a plan to help you give a longer answer, 5, 6 sentences at least. The other strategy you can use is say, well, some people think this, other people think that, but I think. Okay, that's another way you can answer these questions. All right, now let's have a listen to how a Band 9 student, I'll just stop this share for a moment, answers some part 3 questions. Where has she gone? Just going to share it with you in a moment. Okay. Okay, Huang Ang, can you see the video on your screen?
Of course, I can see it clearly.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, everyone, please have a look and listen to this student. For those of you who haven't seen her before, I think she is Palestinian. She certainly comes from the Middle East anyway, but I think she is Palestinian. So you can see the question here. Nok Ang. Nok Ang.
Yes.
Can you read the question for me, please? Just read the question.
Do you think it's important for children to learn how to cook?
Good. Good reading. Okay, so remember, like I said, all part 3 questions are opinion questions, meaning they ask you, what do you think about something? So let's have a listen, see how this student answered this question.
In a household where they learn how to cook. Personally, I was never taught how to cook properly. Just to prepare like random dishes, small dishes, like putting the cheese on the plate. Because in Arab cuisines, you will find like these tiny dishes spread out, like cold mezza. So it's just like tiny appetizers, and that's how I learned to prepare the breakfast table. But I would personally teach my kids how to cook if I learned it myself, because I feel like learning that from a young age could benefit for their future.
Do you think?
Okay, so you will notice she used the AEE, all right, for her question, although she put her example in the middle. So first of all, she answered the question by saying, you can see here.
I was never taught.
Okay, she answers the question. Personally, I was never taught how to cook properly. Okay, then she explained a little bit
how to cook properly, just to prepare like random dishes, small dishes.
Okay, so now she is explaining.
Putting the cheese on the plate, because in Arab cuisines.
Okay, cuisine, maybe a new word for some of you. Jafet.
Yes.
Cuisines, what does this mean?
It's like your signature food in your country, the signature.
Very good. Okay, good. Cuisines, everyone, just means food. In Arab, food, she is saying. Okay, you are correct, Shafat. Okay, so she's talking about food in Arab countries. Vietnamese cuisine. Vietnamese cuisine just means Vietnamese food. Cuisine is just, well, it's a French word, just a more fancy word, just meaning food. That's all.
You will find like these tiny dishes spread out, like called mezza. So it's just like tiny appetizers, and that's how I learned to prepare the breakfast table. But I would personally teach my kids how to cook if I learned it myself, because I feel like learning that from a young age could benefit for their future.
Okay, so she answered the question she answered the question saying she never really learned to cook, but she gave the example about learning how to put out the breakfast cuisine, the breakfast food, and then gave further explanation by saying that if she becomes a mum, she would like to teach her children how to cook because it is good for their future. Okay, so she uses answer, explain, example. Now, again, she is a band 9 student, but she is not using very complicated language. Again, you don't need to use complicated language to get a high score. You just need to use the language correctly. All right, Ledokang.
Did you just call me?
Yes, I did, Ledokang. Do you think it's important for children to learn how to cook?
Children. Do I count as a children?
Do you count as a child? No, I'm just asking your opinion. So, is it important, you think, for children, maybe young people, younger than you, to learn how to cook? Is that important?
I think the young, like the children, having them to cook themselves, like basic meal, is kind of important. Not necessarily to be like difficult meals like lasagna, spaghetti. Just need to know the basic, like how to cook like a stir-fried egg, some to cook rice, and so they can serve themselves when their parents are gone. So I think it is necessary.
Okay, not bad. An example. You could give an example, maybe. Can you cook anything, Ledokang? Can you cook?
I can cook some basic meal, and
Okay.
I learned to cook stir-fried meat, chopped meat, yeah,
Okay.
stir-fried chopped meat from my grandfather.
Great. That's an excellent example, Ledokang. So remember AEE for these questions. Just answer the question, which you did, and then explain, which you did, and then give the example about learning to cook for your grandfather. Does that make sense, Ledokang? That is how to structure your answer. Ledokang, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, Ding Lam.
Yes,
Do you think it's important for children to learn how to cook?
apparently, I think learning is the important skill for the children because if they want to live home alone, they have to cook themselves because they will have any favors of parents to cook meal for them. Moreover, their cooking skill can help parents if they are busy in some day. I think so.
Okay, can you give an example? An example.
Yeah.
So you've answered the question, you've explained. Can you give me an example from your experience, maybe, Ding Lam?
For example, when I was a child in 2 years ago, I had to leave home alone, so I had to cook a meal for myself. So I think cooking is very important for the child.
Good. Okay, that's better, Ding Lam. So remember, answer, explain, example. AEE. Nok ang.
Yes.
Okay, your turn, Nok ang. See if you can use AEE to answer the question, okay? All right, so do you think it's important for children to learn how to cook when they are young?
Yes, I believe that it is quite important for children to learn how to cook. Uh, it it will help children to be more independent. And they can take care themselves when their parents are not at home. For instance, they can prepare some simple meals when their parents are busy. So when parents come back home, they will have some food to eat.
Okay, good. You use AEE. Very good. That's good. Nok ang. So to improve your speaking, you just need to become now more fluent, okay? All right. So your ideas are good. The structure was good. And your language and grammar were all good. Nok ang. But you are still speaking, hesitating quite a bit. Do you understand what I mean?
No.
You are speaking a little bit slowly and pausing too often, okay, at the moment. So again, and again, I will play you some more of the Palestinian student. You will notice that she's speaking quite smoothly, very relaxed, not many pauses, okay? That is what you need to aim for. Does that make sense, Nak Ang?
Okay.
For you, okay? So like I say, Nok Ang, your ideas are fine. Structure was fine. Language is fine. Okay? But at the moment, you are not very fluent. That's what you need to practice. Okay, everyone. So we'll go on to another question for her.
Do you think that high school children should learn to cook at home or at school?
I never heard anyone cooking at school, honestly, but I think at home would be much preferable because you have everything there. The ingredients is already in the kitchen, and especially because, let's say, a parent could help guide you on what to use, what not to use, what to stay away from, and what goes with what. So you can test out what is suitable for your liking.
Now let's talk.
Okay, Zafat.
Yes.
In Vietnamese schools, do they teach you how to cook?
No, they don't.
They don't. Okay. In New
Yeah.
Zealand schools, they do. They
Like
when
for some special ceremony in Vietnam, there may be some kind of that. In Tet, for example, people can teach children how to make bánh chưng.
Right. Okay. When I was your age at school, all the boys had to do a cooking class.
Oh.
Okay, which was, I think, a good idea. Otherwise, because of course many boys would not bother to learn. But at school, for one term, you had to do cooking class once a week, and they teach you to make simple dishes, which I think is a very, very good idea.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Jafat, what do you think? Do you think at high school children, okay, is it better for the school to teach them or their parents to teach them how to cook? What do you think?
I think it is better for them to learn from the parents because, like, it is they share some close bonds, so it is easier to interact and teaches children how to make foods and like at homes, like like the woman said that there are all ingredients in there, so you don't need to like make some specific food in the school because the s- ingredient is very scarce.
Ingredients are very scarce.
Yes.
Are very scarce. Okay. Now, using AEE, can you think of any examples? So you've done A, you've answered the question, you've given 1E, an explanation. Think of any example?
Oh, okay. For example, like what uh like yeah, for example, in Vietnam we could make pho at home, but we can't make it at school because it takes a lot of time and ingredients. And like in Vietnam, you could in at home you could like what should I call it? Like cook the bone for
Mm-hmm.
such a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That yeah, like boil the bones
Yeah.
and to make the bone soup to
Right.
yeah. So it's quite hard for school to make it.
Sure. Okay. That's good. The only, with the example, Jafet, that's an excellent example, but an example doesn't have to be long. Okay.
Yes,
That
yes.
was a good example. You could have just said, yeah, for example, if you are learning how to make fur, much easier to do it at home than at school because at school take too long.
Okay.
Okay, as simple as that. An example can just be one sentence, one simple sentence, just like that. You don't need to explain too much. All right?
All right.
Okay, good. Pam,
Yeah, teacher.
your turn, Fam. Do you think that high school children should learn to cook at school, or is it better their parents teach them at home?
In my opinion, I think is learn to cook from parent is like better because uh it's more interaction and increase the family bond.
Mm-hmm. And can you think of any example?
Um,
For example,
for example, uh, let me think. I don't have any idea for example.
have your parents, has your mum ever shown you how to cook something, Pam?
No, I learn myself.
Okay, all right. So you can say, can you cook something, Pam?
I can cook basic meal or yeah, some basic meal.
Okay, so you could use that as an example, Pam. You can say, I have taught myself at home to cook a basic meal,
Yeah,
but I could never learn that at school. Okay, that would be an example.
okay.
Okay, good. All right, everyone. One more question for this.
Talk about working as a chef. Do you think it would be enjoyable to work as a professional chef?
Okay, Kiam,
Yes, teacher.
can you just read the question, please, Kiam? You can see on your screen.
Yes. Do you think it will be enjoyable to work as a professional chef?
Good. All right. Professional, by the way, everyone, just means professional chef. You get paid money to do it. This is like a job. If you are professional chef, professional football player, professional anything, you get paid money.
From my knowledge, I've only seen professional chefs, let's say in cooking shows or in Hell's Kitchen. So I think it's a very tiring job, especially because if you have like, let's say 20 people coming in at the same time ordering different meals, it's going to be a very tough job or tough on you to be a professional chef, trying to keep up with different meals. What if you mess up? Like, you never know. So yeah, I don't think it's an easy job.
How much influence do celebrity chefs?
All right, just go back a bit to the question. Okay, Kiam,
Yes.
do you think it would be enjoyable to work as a professional chef?
Well, in my opinion, being a chef overall is tiring. And as a professional chef, I think it will be a lot more tiring than normal chef because for professional chefs, they have to cook meals in like a way different level than normal chef. Like if it were a fancy meal or a very difficult meal to make, it will be there will be in a lot of pressure when making the meal. So I think that a professional chef is not that enjoyable to work. Like
Okay.
one example is I watched some professional cooking on YouTube, and I see that most of them are under a lot of pressure when cooking the meal, and many of them mess up the meal, and I think that would be like the f- the stamp for them to fail the competition. Yes.
Okay, good. You use AEE very well, Kiam. That's good. That's good.
Yes.
So just to improve your speaking in the future, same thing that I said to Nok Ang. Just need to become a little more fluent, more smooth with your
Yeah.
talking. Okay? All right,
Okay.
but you are on the right track. All right. So, and the only thing to help you become more fluent is just to keep practicing doing this, which of course we will keep doing every week. Huang Ang,
Yes.
do you think it would be fun to be a professional chef?
Um, personally, I do not have experience on being just a normal chef. So, let's just say I couldn't talk much about the enjoyable parts of being a person of being a professional chef. But as I see them on TV, I think they were enjoyable and fun because they have they get to make delicious meals for people, especially for celebrities, and you know they could try and taste like every cuisine in the world as well. For example, there there's a famous chef that I that was my favorite. His name was Gordon Ramsay, and he I saw him go traveling to a lot of lands to try different cuisines. So I think overall being a professional chef should be enjoyable.
Okay, good answer, Huang Ang. Very good answer. Okay, and again using AEE very well. By the way, everyone, chef is just a fancy word for someone who is a cook. Normally in street food, the person who was making the food is a cook, but chef, you get called a chef when you work in an expensive restaurant, like a hotel restaurant or a very upmarket or expensive restaurant. The cook becomes a chef. So chef is just a fancy title, meaning the same as cook. That's all chef means. And finally, Phu Quang. Do you think, Phu Quang, it would be fun to have a job being a professional chef?
I don't think so because this professional chef job require you a lot of things like how to cook and professional skill, something like that. And I don't think it's a chill and a good job to become, and it's really stress.
Stressful, okay? It's really
Oh, okay.
stressful is the adjective.
Oh,
Yeah, and can you give,
is this
yep,
part 3 question?
yes, part 3 question, as you can see on the screen. It says
Oh,
part 3 question here.
oh, I
Okay,
thought it was the part 1.
no, please listen, part 3. So answer, explain, example. Can you give me an example, Phu Quang?
For example, you work in MasterChef and it requires you many skill for making dinner for some one to try taste it and rate your dinner.
Okay, not bad. All right, so just remember AEE, Phu Quang, okay,
Okay.
for these part 3 questions. All right, stop that there now, because we only have half an hour left for the rest of the class. So, time to go on to writing. And actually, just before I finish that, just go. All right, just before we finish the part 3, just to remind you, everyone, again, of the 2 main strategies for answering part 3 questions. For these questions we have practiced today, answer, explain, example was the easiest strategy, and it will be for most questions. But the other way is this. Some people think that, other people think that, I think that. So you could use this for the professional chef question. For example, I could say, well, some people think being a professional chef is a lot of fun. If you watch TV cooking programs, a lot of the professional chefs, they travel all over the world and they get to try different cuisines and they have a lot of fun with all the people they meet. Other people, however, think being a professional chef would be hard work and often very boring because you are doing the same thing every day and it's very stressful. I think it is very stressful being a professional chef because maybe you have to make 30 or 40 meals every night, and that would get very tiring and very boring. So that is one way you can use this strategy here to answer that question. So again, these are the 2 main strategies or plans to keep in mind when you are answering part 3 questions. And remember, the answers to part 3 questions need to be longer than part 1. So your answers must be 5, 6 sentences. Are there any questions about that? Okay. For the last part of today's lesson, where did we get up to? Ah, yes, need to finish this. Right, let's try finish this, and then we can call it a day once we have finished this. Okay, so we looked at last week this table about teacher salaries. Remember, as always, with writing task 1, we use the pot strategy. paraphrase, overview, 2 detail paragraphs. So there are 4 paragraphs always in your part 1 answer. First paragraph is your paraphrase. Second paragraph, the overview. Then you have 2 detail paragraphs. Can you please now, everyone, actually, just before we do that, just quickly review the paraphrase. You can see I have made a very simple paraphrase of this. So instead of saying the table gives information about the salaries, I have changed that to the table compares the earnings. Earnings, salaries are synonyms, but instead of saying gives information, I've just chosen different words altogether. Kiam, does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I have just put in this phrase extra at 3 different stages in their working life. All right. 3 different stages of their working life. Even though it doesn't say that here, I've got that, okay, from here. All right, 3 different stages of their working life. Salary at the beginning, salary after 15 years, and their maximum salary. Maximum meaning the most money that they can earn. So this is how I paraphrase this. Last week, okay, we started work on the overview. Can you please, again, I know some of you did this last week. Hopefully you remember the corrections I gave you. Some of you missed doing this last week, so that's why I will repeat it this week. Can you please send me your overview of this table? Remember the overview? You are looking at the 2 or 3 most significant or interesting things about any graph, table, or chart. That is all an overview is. 2 or 3 most significant or interesting things. Doesn't matter whether this is a graph or a chart or a table, there will always be 2 or 3 interesting things that you can write about. You always begin your overview like this. It can be clearly seen that, or overall. And the last thing to remember about the overview, Kiam, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, you don't use any numbers in the overview, Kiam, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, Kiam? The numbers you can use in the detail paragraphs, which we will do next. But in the overview, you are just making a note, okay, of the most interesting things. So,
Okay,
very
teacher.
quickly, nok ang.
Yes.
What is the first most interesting thing you notice about this table?
It's about
Teachers' salaries. What's the first interesting thing you notice?
in Japan is Korea is the highest in the last period.
Good.
The
All right. Teachers in Korea get paid the most. Okay, that is number 1. One interesting thing. Ladok Ang.
Yes.
What is another interesting thing about this table? Okay, number 1. Teachers in Korea get paid the most. Who gets paid? Who gets paid the least?
Denmark.
Denmark gets paid the least. Good. And Fuquang.
Yes.
Whose salary changes the least?
Denmark.
Correct. Okay, so they are 3 interesting things that you can write about for the overview. Just 2 or 3 is all you need, and 2 sentences for your overview is all you need as well. All right, so everyone in chat, please send me your overview. Thank you. 2 sentences. Kiam, does this make sense to you? In the overview, Kiam, you are always looking for what is the biggest, what is the smallest, what has changed the most, what has changed the least.
Yes, I understand.
Good. So for any table, graph, chart, diagram, those are the things you are looking for your overview. Jafet, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Good. Pam, does that make sense to you? Pam, oi.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, does this make sense to you, Pam?
Yes.
Okay, good. So again, just to repeat, for the overview, you are looking for biggest, smallest, biggest change, least change. You are always looking for those for your overview, the most interesting things that happen.
Yeah.
Good. And for these exercises, everyone, there will always be something interesting happening. There's always something. You just have to look and find it. So the overview is just a summary, a summary. Okay, thank you, Ladok Ang. Okay, another couple of minutes for this, everyone. Shouldn't take you very long to do this. Just want 2 sentences. So, Ladok Ang,
Yes.
so you've mentioned that Korea's teachers got paid the most, which is correct. Denmark's had the least change. Okay.
Accordingly, it has the lowest salary.
Yeah, who has the lowest salary?
Denmark.
So
According
Denmark
it
has the lowest salary, you're correct, and the least change. So you could probably put that, yeah, the least change in teachers' salary accordingly the lowest salary paid for
according
teachers.
it has. I
Yeah,
got
the English is not correct, Little Kang. Okay, and I know what you are trying to say, but grammatically it's not correct. So you would need to say something like this, Little Kang. It can be clearly seen that Korea's teachers got paid the most at the end of the period. Denmark's teachers got paid the least, okay? And Denmark is also the country where salaries increase the least. Something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
should put it in a two different paragraphs.
different. You could have put it in a different sentence, maybe. You could, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, you have the right idea, Ledokang, but just the English is not grammatically correct, okay? All right, Ding Lam. Same for you, Ding Lam. You have the right idea, but the English is not quite correct. All right, I will correct all this for you in a moment. Everyone else, you should be able to send me yours pretty quickly now.
I resent the paragraph.
Okay.
Is it better?
Thank you, Ladukang. I'll come back to you in just a moment, Ladukang. I'm just looking at Nok Ang at the moment. Okay, Nok Ang.
Yes.
Okay, that's good English, Nok Ang. Very good.
Yeah.
Ladukang, that's better, but accordingly is not the correct word, okay? Okay, better just to use the word also instead of accordingly, okay?
Okay.
While Denmark has the least change in teachers' salary, also Denmark has the lowest salary paid to teachers.
I can use it instead of Denmark. Oh no. Like also it has the lowest salary.
Better to use Denmark again, all right? So that is correct instead of it. But accordingly is not correct. Just use also. Very, very simple. Does that make sense, Ladokang?
Okay. Thank you.
No worries. Kiam.
Yes, teacher.
It can be clearly seen Korea dominates over the highest maximum salary and Denmark being the lowest. So Japan has the highest starting salary teachers. Okay, that's fine. Kiam, that's pretty good.
Oh, yes, thank you, teacher.
Jafet.
Yes.
It can be clearly seen teachers in Denmark have the lowest salary, which remains stable to 2026, in contrast to not bad, Jafet. I would just I would probably change it around a little bit, Jafet, and have Korea at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Who has the highest, then who has the lowest, and then who hasn't changed, okay?
Yes.
Is probably a better order to do it in.
Okay.
Okay. So, Hwang Ang.
Yes.
Korean teachers held the highest. Held is not quite the correct word, okay? Have is better. Korean teachers have the highest maximum salary.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the income for the ones, better to use the word teachers. Meanwhile, the income for teachers in Denmark not only remained unchanged, was also the lowest. All right. Don't need to say number in the max salary column. Okay, Huang Ang?
All right.
Again, remember, I always try to say KIS. Keep it simple. Okay? So you can just finish your sentence at lowest. Which makes it nice and simple and easy to understand. Don't need to say number in the max salary column. All right? Regarding the starting salary, Australia instructors have the lowest pay, while Denmark and USA share the advantages of having the best entry salary. Okay, the second sentence is great. Wang Ang, very good. Okay, most of you did an okay job with that. So again, I will just fill in this little bit here. While I am doing this, everyone, while I am writing the overview to show you, all right, can you please go on to detail paragraph 1 and detail paragraph 2? Again, I just want 2 sentences for each paragraph. This is where you need to show numbers. Okay, so detail paragraph 1. You need to show the numbers about maybe who has the highest or who has the lowest detail paragraph 2? Which ones haven't changed at all, or which ones haven't changed much? I'll leave it up to you to decide. One thing to remember, you don't need to use every figure. Don't have to. In fact, please don't. Don't use every figure. Don't need to. Again, you just choose the ones you think are the most useful or the most interesting. Okay, I'll come back and look at everyone's detail paragraphs shortly. In fact, we will continue this next week, everyone. But first of all, Fuquang. Fuquang, oi. It disappeared. Jafet.
Yes.
Okay, Jafet. Can you see the overview I have written, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay, can you please read it?
It can be clearly seen that teachers in Korea are the highest earners overall. Although American teachers have the biggest starting salary, Australian teachers have the lowest salaries at the beginning, and pay for educators in Denmark never increase.
Okay, increases, Jafet. Okay, remember to say the S
Exists.
on the end. Increases. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Jafet,
Yes.
first of all, does this make sense to you?
Yes, it makes sense.
Good. All right, everyone, I hope you can see I have used just 2 sentences. Okay, that's all you need for your overview. As I was saying, 2 sentences. All right, I have mentioned who gets the most money overall, all right, which is Korea. Okay, although American teachers have the biggest starting salary. All right, so I've mentioned Korea and America. Australian teachers have the lowest at the beginning. All right, and pay for educators in Denmark never increases. You notice I have used the synonym instead of teachers. Huang Ang used instructors. All right, educators is also a synonym for teachers. Teachers are educators or instructors. Again, just to show that I know what a synonym for teachers is, will help me get a better score, instead of just using teachers all the time. So this is one way you can do the overview. There are other ways, of course, but this is one way you can do it. But the main thing I hope you can see from this, that I've got who was the highest, okay, who is the lowest in part, all right, who has the biggest starting salary, and whose hasn't changed. I've done that in 2 sentences. So this is the sort of thing you are looking at for the overview. All right, just going to look very quickly. We will finish this next week, everyone. But before we call it a day, Ladok Ang.
Yes.
All right, just looking quickly at your detailed paragraph, Ladok Ang. My career has reached its peak at the end of the period, being the top count for its salary paid for educators. Okay. So what is missing, Ladok Ang, is you need some numbers for this, okay?
Numbers.
Yeah, you need to have some of the salary numbers, Ladok Ang, for the detailed
I did
paragraph.
mention fourfold, like 4 times.
You did, but better to use the actual salary numbers, okay?
Damn.
This is when you need to use the numbers. Okay, so that is my first point.
Okay.
Okay. And again, accordingly is not quite the right word, Ladokang.
Uh,
Okay. On the one hand, Korea's reached its peak at the end of the period and being the top country for its salary. Okay. So you have the right idea, Ladokang, but number one, you must use some numbers, okay? That is the first thing I will say. And Ding Lam.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, just looking at your overview, Ding Lam. All right. Bucking this trend. That's interesting choice, Ding Lam. Interesting choice of phrase, okay? Pay in Australia has the smallest change, while in Denmark the pay is stable. All right. Better to say, Ding Lam, while in Denmark the pay remains unchanged. Okay, Ding Lam? In Denmark, the pay remains unchanged. Very simple way of describing what happens. Does that make sense, Ding Lam?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so you don't need to say pay is stable and unchanged in all process. That's too complicated, Ding Lam, all right? And
I just want use a unique way to describe this.
right, Ding Lam, don't need to do any unique way, okay?
Yeah.
Don't worry about that, Ding Lam. Remember, keep it simple, okay?
Yes.
Please, Ding Lam, all right? Remember, IELTS all about just simple communication. If you try to make it unique and different, you run into the problem of making mistakes, which is what you have done here. So much easier just to say, while in Denmark, the pay remains unchanged. Does that make sense, Ding Lam?
Yes, I listen.
Much simpler and has no mistakes. Okay? You will get a better score for that. Okay? All right, everyone. All right. It's after past. Time to call it a day. Time to finish. Before we finish, does anyone have any questions for me? Okay, we will finish this next week, the detail paragraphs. Again, as I was saying to Ledok Ang earlier, for the detail paragraphs, you must use some numbers. So no numbers in the overview. You were just giving a summary in the overview of what is biggest, what is smallest, what is unchanged. But in the detail paragraph, you use numbers, all right, to give more detail. So thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Great to see you all again. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Have a happy week, everyone. I see you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, teacher.
Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye. Okay, Fung Dokang.
Hello, teacher.
Nice to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, I feel good. Thank you.
Good. All right. How does it feel, Fung Dokang? You don't have to come to class anymore.
Yeah, and I feel I have more free time
You have
to
more free
play
time.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. You can sleep in now on Sunday morning.
No, but I choose playing Minecraft instead.
Okay. All right. All right, Fung Dokang. Well,
Yeah,
congratulations again on getting 7, Fung Dokang.
yeah, thank you.
I think that was great. So, please tell me about the test. So, part 1, what sort of questions did they
Yeah,
ask you?
the test speaking is simple. Like the part one, they began with do you work or do you study?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the question 2 or 3, I don't remember that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but it kind of related to my study.
Right. Okay.
And the examiner switches to the car topic, and they ask, "What is your favorite car?"
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
yes, and uh, do you think I don't. Do you think car is expensive or cheap? And I think uh, I think they done. I remember that, and they switched to the part 2 questions.
Yeah.
And the part 2 questions, like you practice with me, is about describe an interesting video you find on internet.
Right.
Yeah, and I choose about cooking, and I told about my cooking experience, but honestly, is something like off topic than that. And the part 3 questions, um, she asked about AI, will AI take will I will replace human jobs or take human jobs? And some people think that AI is important to our lives today. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
And uh, do you th- uh, do you think what is the most important skill you can learn through the internet. And she just asked four or five questions, and she ended the test.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And how did you feel about what you did? You mentioned when you wrote to me that you thought you maybe paused a bit. Is that right or not?
Yes, I posted so much, then
Mm.
I talk to you like usual.
Yeah.
And the reason I think I got sick because I talked too much about the topic that it 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 wasn't related to the main topic,
Right.
and uh, I think my pronunciation in that day was not good.
Mm.
I I always forget the final sound like S or
Right.
T or something like that.
Sure. The final consonant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
But so the questions weren't too difficult.
no, for me, I think it's simple. Yes,
Mm.
and you can answer.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And
Good. All right. And what about the writing? What sort of part one did they give you?
mm,
What
the
task
part
one?
one is about line graph.
A line
Uh,
graph. Okay.
a line graph about immigrations, the
Okay.
number of people immigrate to three countries, the US, Canada, and Mexico.
Okay. So it was quite simple. Wasn't
Yeah,
difficult.
it's simple.
All right. And
And
part two?
and the task two is about negative or positive developments. It about like nowadays in many countries, people are able to buy um, more household goods like televisions, ovens
Mm-hmm.
more than they did in the past. What
Yeah.
do you think? It is a negative or positive development?
Right.
Yeah, and I can handle this very well.
Yeah. Well, you got seven, so you must have handled it pretty well.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I want to inform you that in the test one,
Mm.
I wrote the letter three. Yeah, like that. I can send you that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I got a three-letter E. So when I come back to check, I saw it,
Mm.
and I have to remove it.
Right. Okay. Good.
And
Good.
it is only about 50 seconds to end of the writing test. So
Mm.
I must to examine it quickly.
Good. Oh, good. I'm glad you had time to review.
Yeah,
You're starting to.
fortunately.
Yeah. 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 Well, you did. No, you did very well. I think. Fong Dok Ang.
Yeah.
And good. And like I say, congratulations on getting the seven. You have any other comments for me about the test?
Mm,
Anything that surprised you or not? It was pretty much as you
I,
expect.
I think I think the most thing I got surprised is about examiner.
Mm.
They doesn't like any people tell on social media. Uh, they in the TikTok or Facebook, they tell that in BC, the examiner will be like the face has no emotions,
Yes.
but in fact, is not true
Right.
because yeah, and I and the examiner will you know reactions with my speaking, and she sometimes laugh, but I think she laughed for another reason. It's not my story.
Right. Okay. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you had a nice examiner. That's great. That
Yeah,
helps. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
Um, I want to mention that the mentality is very important because I choose speaking in the morning,
Mm.
so I feel very, very like mm, anxiety about uh, my perform. But in the afternoon, I don't have to talk anyone, so I don't have to interrupt anyone, so I can easily handle the three three skill others like reading, listening, and writing.
Okay. So what you were saying, it's better to do speaking first, you think?
Yeah, yeah, best and you must prepare for like for examiner uh, if examiner don't reactions don't do anything without asking questions. You will prepare that and will doesn't need to don't need to think so much about examiner like what what do you think about me or how do you think about my questions? You don't need to think about that. Uh, you just need to answer your questions um, perfect as you try.
Okay. Okay. Good. Now, I've been talking with Bak Ha about your listening.
Yeah.
I'm sure Bak Ha's been talking to you about this as well. She thinks that you should resit the listening test again, to try and get a higher score because she told me you usually get an 8 for the practice listening tests.
Yeah, but in the in the listening test, I also worry as the speaking test, so I miss a lot of words.
Mm,
And after doing that, I expect my listening was no more than 8 or 7.
mm,
So 6.5 is that I expected.
right, right. Um, so would you think about doing the listening test again?
Hmm, I think it depends. Uh, Now I will like try to send an email to British Cultural to help me break down my score. If my score in listening was too bad, so I will uh, take a take a listening test again.
Right. I think you should, Fung Duk Ang, take it again. And the two reasons I think, um, and I'm sure this is what Bak Ha has told you as well. Of course, if you can lift your overall score to 7.5, much easier for you to get a job later on if you want to help become a teaching assistant for English
Yeah, but
later will be easier. You can, when you are competing with other people for the same job, if your band score is higher, they, help them choose you instead of somebody else who has a
yeah,
7. If you can get a 7.5, maybe you can get more money as well. So, and these are all good reasons to
yeah.
increase your score. And the second reason is, of course, for you, you don't have to do any more study. It is for listening, I think, for you is pretty easy. It's not that difficult.
Yeah,
And
but
now you have done it once. You will be more relaxed next time.
yeah, but I still worry about retake my listening test
Mm,
because in this skill that they speak like they speak they don't speak directly, they discuss with other and I have to choose their final decisions, which is very hard to hear.
mm, mm. But usually this doesn't bother you, is that right? when you are doing the practice tests?
Kind of does. It depends on the difficulty of the test. If it was easy, I can handle it, but
Mm.
it was difficult, so no.
Yeah, I think for me, if I was you, I would do it again because what Bakhar is saying that 6.5 is not a good reflection of your ability.
But
Okay, normally 7.58 is your normal ability.
yeah, but I think overall 7 is not too bad
Of
because
course not. Of course not.
be- because it record that my English is in the C1 level and
Hmm
7.5 is also C1 level, so it doesn't affect me at all.
Bakhar thinks they might look at this, like I say, if you are going for a job like being a teaching assistant in another year or two,
Yeah,
having 7.5
yeah,
can give you an advantage.
yes, but okay, I think I will take it.
Yeah, I think so. Because like I say, you don't really need to do any more work for you. You know this already.
Yeah, but what about my retake listening skill is lower than my than I did in the first time.
Yeah. Well, yes, but we don't think so. Yeah. What
I think
what you are suddenly going to get a 5 or a 6 for listening? I don't think so.
yeah, uh, I think that 6.5 is my lowest score that I
And
ever done.
that's exactly. So how can you be worse? You know,
Yeah,
so you don't want to be too pessimistic. And like I say, you will be more relaxed next time because you know what to expect, of course.
yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah. So, and again, I think maybe your future self will thank you for this. Does that
yes,
make sense? Yeah,
yes, yes,
yeah. And again, if you were going to retake speaking or something again, I would probably say no. All right, because that is more work, and the result would be uncertain. But
yeah.
listening is one of your strong skills, and like you say, 6.5 is the worst score you have had. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you will do better.
Yeah, but listening is not my strongest. My strongest is reading.
Reading, yeah, and reading
Yeah,
you did well, of course.
yeah, but surprisingly, I did three passage
Mm,
in 40 minutes, which is very, very fast.
mm.
But I feel that I missed something to to reach the ninth point. Then I exam and I like searching a mistake that I couldn't find anything.
You couldn't find anything, right?
Yeah,
Right.
but my score is 8.5, and I think I will have a breakdown to see my score. If like 8.5 is it is you make two or three wrong answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think to get 8.5, you only need to make like 2 mistakes, I think, something like that.
Yeah, the gap between 8.5 and 9 is very small.
Yes, it is.
Yes, yeah, smaller than 6.5 to
Yes,
7.5.
yes, yeah. So you must have only missed 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't worry, of course.
yes,
8.5 is a great score. Excellent.
yes.
Very
And
difficult to get 9.
my writing as well.
Yeah.
7.7 isn't not in my expectations. I would expect that it will be 6.5 or like that.
Yeah, that's right. No, I think with your writing, with everything you did well. I think for me, I think your speaking 6.5, I would put you at.
Yeah, I think speaking I could do better,
Yeah, that's right.
but
And again, maybe you were just a bit nervous.
you know, I slip it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But you've done very well, Fung Dokang. And like I was saying, I have enjoyed having you as a